This is the Rebel Scum Podcast. Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/RebelScumPodcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You're always scum. Rebel Scum.
Rebel Scum Podcast. My name is Brock. This is
James.
Boom. And this is the Rebel Scum Podcast. We were talking Star Wars episode 370, 2 weeks after
2 weeks.
What do you call that show? Andor. I have ventured back into season 2. I'm just finishing the first story arc.
Wow.
Super excited to keep watching and hopefully see what it's like to watch season 2 into Rogue One. What a time to be alive. James.
So how does it like play together for you as one?
Really good. I know I brought up last week that they talk about Gorman in like the first season. There was something else that I was like, oh yeah, they did set this up. I can't remember what it was, but I was just like, this show's great.
Interesting. That's good to know. And good to hear, because I might go back and watch it all.
Yeah,
I also might not.
It's like a show that you probably could just own on Blu-ray and be like, yeah, I'm glad I own this sort of thing.
I'm not gonna lie. Of all the shows, Mandalorian season 1, and you know I love my Book of Boba Fett, but probably Mandalorian season 1 and Andor season 2 would be the two that I would want to own.
Nice.
Physically. I think I could. I mean, you know, I mean, if I owned all of them, I wouldn't be upset. Right? Like, but yeah.
Apparently this season is the first time that 5 episodes in a row were 9.5 on IMDb, which is like,
insane.
It's like, oh, that's impressive. It also kind of means nothing, but it's also impressive.
I mean, I think it means something. It means that people enjoyed this episode. You know what? I think it means something, but I also think it means nothing because I don't trust anything that I read online. and I mean, I don't trust anything I read online, period. But also reviews. You know how I am with like. I know these aren't reviews; they're audience scores and whatnot. You know, I don't know. I just feel like I don't trust any of that. Like, I don't know. I used to watch Siskel and Ebert. Yeah, that's how old I am. I used to watch Siskel and Ebert on Sunday nights on ABC. My computer is on the cord, so I want to take it off the cord. You know how. So anyway, so I used to watch Siskel and Ebert on Sunday nights, but I feel like critics nowadays, you know, they're not really critics anymore. They're just people with YouTube channels. And whatever. And these reviews on IMDb are actually just people who enjoy movies, but also, you know, the downvoting and things like that. So I don't know how much I trust that, but I think it is a kind of a big deal that it is Star Wars, which is a brand that people have grown to hate over the last 8 years or whatever. So it is kind of impressive that a show like that, without relying on Luke Skywalker or whatnot, I was able to pull that off. So kudos to Andor. I think it's a tremendous show, and I'll definitely be watching episodes 7, 8, and 9 again.
Yeah, no, it's just great. It's just great. It's like the amount of people that I've come across who are like, oh, what a great season that was. I'm like, yep. They're like, they should make more. It's like, they can't. And maybe that's for a good reason.
Again, I said this before. I think one of the things that worked in its favor that not everything succeeds with, we should point out, but was that it knew where it had to end. Like it couldn't go past a certain point.
Yeah.
And I think that definitely worked to its advantage. And I think they I think they utilize that stronger than a lot. I mean, you can argue even, I love my prequels. Let me switch my microphone. I love my prequels, but I think this, because it knew where it ended, it kind of had this goal in mind, and it didn't steer away from what it was trying to do. And I think it just not because of that, but that helped make it what it is, and I think that helped the ending. And also because you could have more, because we need to know what happens to Bix's kid, Brock. Bix's kid, Poe Dameron. We need to know.
Cool.
Wait, how long? Okay, and chat, you guys chime in too. How long until we get the novel about what happened with Bix's kid, Bix and Andor's kid? Like, how long? When do we get that book, Brock? 10 years?
It's like, how successful will the next influx of movies be? Because let's just like forget it. I feel like that's like bottom of the barrel that we start talking about that, because it's just like, I don't know. I'm not like remotely interested in that story whatsoever. So, because like, what are you gonna do?
I'm going 10 years. I'm going 10 years no matter what happens. Someone who is 10 now will be 20, or someone who's 15 will be 25. And they're going to be like, Bix's kid did this mission. And you know what's going to be amazing about that is it's going to be just like Andor, in that it's related to Star Wars, but not related to Star Wars. And we're all going to be like, that was the best Star Wars novel in like 10 years. And that's what we're going to say. Book it. Remember episode 370 of the Rebel Scum podcast, because it's happening, Brock.
2035. Yeah. That's what it'll be.
Wow.
Or at least by 2035.
Yeah, around. I think, I do think though, like, I agree, it's like scraping the bottom of the barrel, but also somebody who grew up with Andor, just a fan of Andor, like, what would be a cool story? Because I feel like Star Wars has done that before. And I don't mean like Boba Fett. I mean like other things. Like, I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. It's like, it's the one thing I'd be like, nah, we don't need that. Nah, it's okay. Nah.
But I agree. But that's why I think a book, Dale, I think like a book is where somebody would like want to do that, where it's like, 20,000 people read it or whatever. Like, it's inconsequential to Star Wars. I don't think, look, I'm with, I don't really care what happens to that kid. But now that I'm talking about it, I'm writing a book right now. It's called The Seventh Death Star, and how Cassian Jr. saved the day.
Yeah. Anywho, what are we talking about today?
Before we get into what we're talking about, let's go over to blind rankings. How about that?
Let's do it.
How about we do some blind rankings? Chat, you got to let us know what your blind rankings are. I'm going to give you the characters. I'm going to give you the characters, Brock, and you're going to put them in order. Put them in order. And if you know how this goes, I'm not going to give you a good one.
Okay, cool.
You're not going to get any good characters. These are going to be non-Force users. Top 5. These aren't top 5. This is not top 5. This is not the top 5 at all. These are 5 Force users, and you're going to have to blindly rank them. Okay? Mon Mothma.
What?
Non-Force users in Star Wars.
Oh, non-Force user. I thought you said
Not non-bread, non-Force users. Love non-bread, by the way.
3.
That's where my cursor was. Next one we got Wedge Antilles.
Oh, 4. That's like a character that's more important in comics and books, and I guess video games. But like, I mean, obviously he's in the movies, but it's just like, he doesn't really do. I was gonna say he doesn't really do anything. He's just there, but he's very interesting in the books, talking about books in the future sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go with Jango Fett. Because now you don't know who I'm dropping next, and you might cry.
I'm gonna put him at 5.
Fair.
Yeah.
Terrible spot, but fair.
It should be like the top 5 characters that Tamora Morrison, or not top 5, blind rankings of Tamora Morrison characters in the Star Wars universe.
Oh my god, that's coming. That's a good one. Never even crossed my mind. That one is absolutely happening.
Yeah.
Chat, we'll get to you. I can't see you. Chewbacca.
Oh, number 1.
I should have switched. I should have swept these two around. I should have flipped them, but I went that way. Whatever. It's fair. Fair is fair. We got Chewbacca, Hondo, Mon Mothma, Tilly's, and Jango Fett. Return of Death Star 9. Dale's going number 1 for Mon Mothma. Number 1 for all of them.
Yeah.
And Ron's pretty close with that too. So how do you feel about your list? Chewbacca, Hondo, Mon.
It's
Wedge.
like I need to add this on my resume of skills, perfect blind rankings.
How would you have felt if I put Hondo? Because you probably would have put Hondo first if I said Hondo before Chewie.
He would be high, but the delivery is like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, no, you nailed this one. This one was a good job.
Yeah.
You prove yourself, Brock, as a Star Wars fan. And now everyone will be like, oh yeah, Brock does know Star Wars.
Yeah.
He did a great job on the rankings.
You stop saying that, Heidi.
All right, let's go over to Conja Club.
Oh, it's an investment back too.
I never made a deal with Conja Club.
Tell that to Conja Club.
Should we just let this play, or are we done with it?
I've been done with it for a while.
But the audio is going to keep going.
Tasu Leach, good to see you.
Perfect ranking on episode 370s on the resume, bro.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy would hire you in a heartbeat.
Boys, you're both gonna get what I promised.
It's
Have
too
I ever
long.
not delivered
It
for you
keeps
before?
going. It goes.
Yeah.
We can talk over it. I think that's part of it. Oh, look, I can actually lower the volume.
Why would you make it that long?
Because I've actually, true story, I've never edited this clip. This is just like the raw clip from YouTube, and I've never edited it. So it is what it is. And I could stop it at any time, but why would I do that?
Nice.
Why would I do that? All right, Conja Club, let's talk about a little thing that bumped up in Star Wars land. Andor has come and gone, and now Star Wars is in that lull until next May. So,
Yikes.
I mean, we could talk about more than just this. Let's start with something else. How about that? Something to throw your mind. So apparently this leaked from an insider. Somebody might be able to remind me of who the insider was. But apparently, if Mandalorian and Grogu is successful, they will make a sequel. And if it's not successful, they will not make a sequel, and there will not be any more Mandalorian and Grogu. This will be the end of the line for Mandalorian and Grogu. It does seem like forever away, and in 2035, when we're reading the Bix Dameron book, we won't be saying that. So yeah, that's the word. I saw that and I said, makes sense to me, but people are freaking out over this because, one thing I love about Star Wars fans is how irrational they are. So to me, this makes sense. Like, I feel like I always said this from the get-go, and I love season 3 of Mandalorian. I'm one of the 4 people. I'm one of 7 for Boba Fett, 4 for Mando season 3. Season 2, their story ended. Everything else has been kind of bonus for me. So I don't know. I just like, if it ends on a grand adventure, fine. That's great. And they live on to do more adventures. We just don't see them. That's my personal feelings on it. I'm going to go see the movie in the theater. You and I will go together, hand in hand, popcorn bucket sharing. And I don't know. What are your thoughts?
This feels like the most unnews thing ever. It's just like, I guess the story is really people freaking out about it, but yeah, no doy. It's like Star Wars is like Marvel now. They're just out to make more content, more movies. Like, it's like they're just gonna make this movie until people stop going. So it's like Grogu and Mandalorian and Grogu being successful, and they'll make a second one is like no doy. They might not call it that, number 2. They might be like, the new adventures of the old Christine and Grogu. Like, yeah, it's like, yeah, no, of course not. Of course they're gonna do it. So it's like, so people are freaking out, which is funny. It's like, well, you don't have to panic because if you just go see the movie 2 or 3 times, it's gonna win. It's gonna work itself out. But I don't know, it's like,
Well, now I find it. Sorry,
No,
I
go
find
ahead.
it funny. I find it funny now because they have Andor. Andor was great. I don't think we're not gonna argue that, but now people are like, how can I watch other Star Wars knowing how good I'm like, well, you watched it before, and I mean, look, as great as Andor is, do we need all Star Wars to be that? I mean,
Yeah.
look. On one hand, we've all no. I mean, I am really old, so I've grown up, and maybe I have grown out of the Filoni verse. I haven't, I haven't, but like
Mhm.
I could like it could be like that's too childish for me, which is fair, and Andor kind of fit what I'm more into now. But that's not what Star Wars has really ever been. Has been what Andor is. Maybe Empire Strikes Back, but even that, I don't think one has done. Maybe similar, but like Star Wars. I think there's a place for all of these Star Wars, and I think you also have to separate viewing Andor from viewing Mando, from viewing Boba Fett, from viewing Clone Wars. From they're all different. They're all the same universe, but
Yeah.
different experiences in a lot of ways. And if you could separate them, you could probably enjoy them more that way than not. But I don't know.
It's like Andor is good at what it does, and like we don't need to duplicate that. I mean, I think we said last week it would be cool if, oh gosh, the Gilroys would make something else. Like that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, that sounds great. Go make it. But like it's like I don't want everything to be like Andor. Like that would be kind of depressing. You know what I mean? Like it was what it was. And just sort of like I don't know. It's kind of true. I don't know how to explain why I like Andor. Like it's not a happy ending, and it's a lot of like characters not doing or not living the best life. You know what I mean? Like so it's
It's
like it's kind of bleak when you think about it.
very Empire Strikes Back, though.
Yeah, no, exactly. But like Empire Strikes Back still has that whimsy in a sense, right? Like it's just like it ends on a bad note, but it's just like Andor's very heavy, so it's like why would you want that over and over again? Like it's like
because you're an
look,
adult.
you can yeah, that's exactly why Star Wars fans are still around after 40 years. It's like no, you're just chasing that magic dragon that is your like nostalgia childhood. You want to experience Star Wars again for the first time. I think maybe that's it. Like Andor is like, wow, I've never really seen something exactly like that when it comes to Star Wars. So you're like, oh, but it's like I think I said this before. It's like movies like Star Wars is like drugs. You're like, oh, when can I get another hit? It's like when will they do something crazy on screen? Or even like when the Lucasfilm logo comes up and like there's silence and it's like a long time, like everybody wants to relive that. So it's like just put Star Wars A New Hope out once every year in theaters and for one day, and people were like, let's go, until we get tired of it.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
No, I think you're right on, and I think the thing too though is with Andor that I think like Mandalorian I'll go back to because I think we forget now, but Mandalorian season 1, everybody loves season 1. Everybody loves the finale of season 2, but everybody loves season 1 through and through, right? But it wasn't the story that we loved so much. It was the adventure. It was the little things. It was Grogu, like Baby Yoda, was the greatest thing ever. So that's kind of what we fell in love with that. But Andor is a very solid story that utilizes the elements of Star Wars around it to kind of tell like a really, really good story. So it's not about the whimsical stuff, like you said. It's just about the story. And that's what is captivating more than anything. Whereas the other stuff is spectacle and this is story. And I like them both. I like them. I
Yeah.
think there's a place for both of them. Maybe you can combine them, but that is a really what? Sorry, I just set up show comments on the stage so they
Yeah, I saw
automatically
that.
appear. But is that the smallest? Like, why even bother? I can't read that.
It's not bad if it's gonna go like slowly up.
I guess,
mean,
yeah.
we'll cover
Somebody
your
else
face, but like,
so are we going to have? Are we going to have to live through 3 or 4 acolytes before we get another Andor?
yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Oh, okay. I can live with that then. I can live with that.
It's slowly gonna
Andor,
go over your face.
Andor is
Oh
very
no, it's
linear.
disappearing. Gotcha,
Oh, yeah.
gotcha. Anyway,
Andor's a
sorry.
very linear story. So why is it so small? Go down, whatever. We don't need to know between 4 years. Doesn't matter. Hey, Brock's thing. Yeah, I think. Well, the acolyte question is a good one. You know, there are people that like the acolyte. I think, and I've said this for a while now. I think sometime before the acolyte, Disney as a company learned a very harsh lesson that they learned when Iger stepped down and they started mass producing Marvel and Star. They were just like, no more movies. No, like Andor should be a movie. I think we're all in agreement. Like Andor should have been a movie. Boba Fett season 3 probably should have been a movie. But there was that mandate to push Disney Plus, and I think Disney has learned that, you know, to scale it back, make the movies, spend more time on them. So I don't think we're going to get 2 or 3 more seasons of Acolyte style shows. We're going to get Ahsoka season 2, whatever that's going to be. I just hope it sticks the landing and doesn't leave it. You'll find out in the movie. But I don't think, you know, I don't think we're going to get that many Star Wars shows, and they're going to focus more on the movies, and I think they're going to be good, and I think we're going to get, look, not everybody's going to like everything. We've also said that. You've said that for 8 years on this podcast, Brock, that there's going to be so much Star Wars, so at some point we're not going to like it. But I think they're going to focus more on quality of them, and then just hammering them out every year.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's on the horizon, so it's just sort of, I can't think of what else is coming besides the movie, like
Ahsoka.
Oh, Ahsoka, yeah, like that. When does that come out? Unclear.
Ahsoka.
I can't remember. Ahsoka.
They just started shooting it. They have started shooting it. But,
Right.
So probably after the Mando season 3, I'd imagine at the end of next year, probably, or early 2037.
Yeah. After the book comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After they release the book. I think, you know, whatever. All right, let's go on to our other topic. R-rated Star Wars. Ryan Reynolds apparently has pitched an idea for an R-rated Star Wars, but it's not like an R-rated Star Wars. It's just an R-rated Star Wars. And I didn't understand his comment, and I was just like, I felt like I did when I heard Ryan Gosling was cast in Star Wars. Like, that's literally what I thought about. I was like,
no.
I'm sitting in the theater watching. Sorry, go on.
No disrespect to the Canadian Ryans, but I don't know if this is like. I mean, I think I've said this to you. Have you been following any of this, like, Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni BS? My wife does, so I know it through osmosis. But it's just like I think that family needs to just pump the brakes on being in the public eye. Though I'm very excited to watch season 3 of Welcome to Wrexham. But yeah, I mean, no disrespect to Ryan Reynolds. He does what he does, which is selling Ryan Reynolds. Like Deadpool and Free Guy and the Adam Project. It's like it's the same dude over and over again. Red Notice. Like, no, not Red Notice, that's the Santa one. What's the one where he's like what was the movie that came out where The Rock was with Santa? Red one?
Oh God. Yeah.
But anyways, there's the one with Rock and Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot, and it's like Red, whatever. All great movies. That's like this is the thing. Ryan Reynolds puts out movies, but like they're the same movie. Like I love Deadpool. Please make more Deadpool. But at the same time, it's like Deadpool is only one sort of thing. I would like to see Ryan Reynolds do a little bit more dramatical acting before we're like, okay, come on over to Star Wars. And I know he just wants to write and produce something, but like, I don't know, Ryan. Like, we all know what that's gonna be like.
He was Red Notice was the one that he was in. That was
Red
Captain
Notice,
America.
yeah.
I don't know which actor I prefer. Did not like Red Notice. Don't even think I finished it. I think I walked away. I was like, nope. And that's when I canceled Netflix. I said, no more. Cannot handle this garbage anymore. Stop making streaming movies. Here's the thing. If I was in Blockbuster and I saw that, I'd be like, I'm not renting that movie. That's how. But on Netflix, for some reason, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Snakes on a plane all day, man. Snakes on a plane.
Snakes on a plane.
Snakes on everything. Snakes on everything. No, I can't handle it anymore. I don't know. Yeah, Dale brought it's not R-rated just to be R-rated. It's R-rated because it doesn't hold like any punches for kids. I don't even know what that means. Like, is that like Andor? Was Andor R? Like, I don't know if I want to go any deeper into the adult world than Andor did in any you know what I mean? I don't need blood and guts. What was that? I was watching the I don't know what the hell I was watching. I was watching something and there was all this fake blood in it. And I was like, I don't think that's as cool as you think it is, whatever I was watching. And look, I think sometimes I watch stuff, I'm like, why is there no, I think was it Lord of the Rings? There was something I was watching, I'm like, there's no blood. This is strange. I don't know why I cried. But then you see like the over-the-top fake digital blood now. And I'm like, this might be worse. Like, I think I would prefer no blood to this. And Braveheart did blood well. But I just like I don't need that. Darth Maul gave us all the blood I think we need. I think Bix murdering the rapist guy was enough. There's enough there for me that I don't want to go any deeper than that. I think Skeleton Crew, to the kids' comment that Dale brought up, I think Skeleton Crew was the perfect amount of dark for kids. Like it took like remember we were like Goonies in space, like everyone. And I was like, yeah, the 80s did stuff though. And this one was like Stranger Things was like, oh, this is pushing the limits of like, kids stuff. That's good. It's not just like friendly. And like Andor's obviously very different, but I think that's as far as I want to go down that path personally. And and Kathleen Kennedy listens to us all the time. So I'm sure what I'm saying is right, but I don't know. That's how I feel. How do you feel?
Yeah, like I think Andor's hit a peak on how serious you can get. And like with the mention right there was like the headshot to Cyril. That was pretty graphic. Like, and that was shocking. I think we both it was like it was just like.
So have you rewatched that one yet?
No. I'm just finishing the scene where they have a dinner party at Cyril and Dedra's house.
Okay, so, when you get there, text me because I want to know if that is actually graphic or if we just think it's graphic because it happened so fast. And like his fall is brutal, but is there anything else in there? I can't remember. I want you to let me know when you get there.
I will. Yeah,
because he looks like he's beat up and bruised and like he looks, but like I can't remember if anything comes out of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think he just gets shot and fall down, but it's so fast and quick that mentally we're like, we're in that
exactly,
which is perfect.
I think you're right. Like, I think that's one of the cool things about Andor. It's like the death scenes are most of them are off screen, like or fast. So it's like, oh my god, because it's just like this is war. This is nobody is safe. These people are the collateral damage we don't see outside of the original trilogy. I don't know. Again, I do like Ryan Reynolds. I'm like, yeah, I get it. You make like you hate it, make it work every time. But it's just like I'm like I think. I mean, no disrespect to Marvel. I think they have their moments where like we tried this new director or writer, and look how they shone. Like I think with Star Wars, it's like you got to keep it like unknowns. Like. You can have interesting directors or writers, but like they can't be the forefront. Like it's just like they're just asking for it to not happen, right? Like it's like, I mean, what's her face? Wonder Woman, Rebel, Patty Jenkins. It's just like, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm like, nothing happened. It's like what's going on?
The only one I believed was the Sean Levy one because he's on such a hot streak. I was like, there's no way he's not gonna do it. Because like all the other directors they've had, Trevorrow, Jenkins, they all came off of bombs. They got hired at their peak, and then the next thing bombed, and they're like, whoa, and cold feet. Whereas Sean Levy was like, he's not having a bomb between Deadpool and Wolverine and Star Wars. He's too smart for that. He pitches his wagon to what he's got.
I just like it's just kind of crappy where it's like this isn't a matter about like making a really good movie. This is just business at this point where it's like, oh, you didn't do good, you're out. Like,
well, I think Star Wars, Marvel is like because everyone always talks about Feige, right? It's like Feige.
Yeah,
fair enough. Like, but Star Wars has never had that person. Like they've like Kathleen Kennedy's not. She's the head of a studio.
Yeah.
Where I know Feige is, but it's a very different beast. And it's just like George Lucas was that. And you compare it to a showrunner like Tony Gilroy. There's an interview. I don't know what it was. I don't know what the source was. If anyone does, let me know and I'll tell you. But he said that he wasn't even on set like 90% of it, like or ever like on set. He was the showrunner. And I think that's what Star Wars needs is they need a showrunner. And we've said this before about Favreau, because I think what Favreau did with Mandalorian with those group of directors was like they've hit, like those directors always hit. They do a great job. Is I think you need someone just to sit down and be like, here, or two people sit down and be like, here's the next 10 years of Star Wars. Let's plot it out. Like Gilroy, clearly based on what you're saying from season 1, knew. I think it was originally supposed to be 4 seasons or whatever, 5, whatever, and ended up being 2. He knew the beginning, middle, and end of the story he was doing. Like that's what Star Wars theatrical especially needs. They need something like that. Instead, we'll have it never tell me that's coming up soon, but like instead we're getting the Ryan Reynolds one, we're getting the Patty Jenkins one, we're getting the Taika Waititi one, we're getting Mando and Grogu, maybe more, maybe not. It's like okay, but at some point I think. Even though audiences complain like it feels like homework, I still feel like they want it. I still think they want it to feel connected to some degree. Like, why am I watching this in a lot of ways? And I think the one-off is for these big franchises is almost dead now. I don't know if I think it'll come back because everything's sickly, everything. What's old is new. But I feel like a lot of audiences have grown out of the one-off movies and they want to know where everything ties together. And I think Rogue One fits that bill perfectly because where that ties in, right? So I think that's how you do one-off. So I'm sure the Ryan Gosling movie will make a ton of money. It's still Star Wars, but if you go see Mando and Grogu, like what's the point of seeing Mando and Grogu? Like, why am I watching this? Why am I watching? And I think that that could bleed into the Ryan Gosling movie. And I think that's why, if they ever do this Daisy Ridley movie, you gotta call it episode 10. You gotta give like that's what Star Wars is though, right? Star Wars is serial.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. And it's true. Like Mando and Grogu are likely like leaning a lot on the show. So it's like, will people go see it if they haven't seen the show? I think we'll find out. I think Star Wars still has that like draw that like, oh, Star Wars, I'll go see it. So maybe.
Agreed.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. This will be the first like TV show that becomes a movie. So it's just wild to me that it's just like really, it's like you got like the Mandalorian. It's like that's our thing, and it all centers around that to some extent. And it's like, oh, this one doesn't really connect in any way. It's out. It's like, well, I don't know. It's like we're gonna have to make some kind of new story at some point, unless this is now the Grogu saga. The Skywalker saga is over, and now we're in the Grogu saga.
Yeah,
that could work. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. I just think, Star Wars has lived in episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's lived in the episodic stuff. And I know they want to like no more. We got to get out of that, but I don't understand why they have to get out of it. Like, and the thing is, and this is how I feel for real. If they were to come out and be like, Ryan Gosling's movie is episode 10, but it's not about the Skywalkers, I'd be like, okay, call it episode 10, but it's part of like the same, like, it's kind of like Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian. There's nothing, if you like, I love Book of Boba Fett. I'm one of 7. We just said it, but there's nothing that tells you that it's connected to the Mandalorian. Like if you're a newcomer, I mean, obviously we know, but if you're a newcomer, there's nothing that tells you. It should have been like the Mandalorian : Book of Boba Fett or something like that. Like they needed to connect these in some way to tell people like, hey, I know you think it's Star Wars, but this is where it is in Star Wars. Even the Acolyte, like, well, Rogue One. We'll just go back to Rogue One. People were like, where's Rey? Why isn't Rey in Rogue One? And I don't think they've done a good enough job for the last 10 years even of really explaining the timelines. And now it's going to get even more muggy if you have Mandalorian and Grogu are here and Ryan Gosling's is there and Rey's is there. And people like average fans are going to be like, oh, I've lost interest. And then they're just going to go and watch it on Disney Plus. And then Disney's going to be like, nobody cares about Star Wars anymore. It's like, I think the episodic stuff is important. Like, is the Grogu, like, give that its title. Like, I think they'd be smart, they'd be wise to do that, but I don't think they will because I don't think they've given it that much thought, to be honest.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. We'll see. We're
going to be at the mall.
Yeah, like they gotta put out some movies so we can like make some real, because it's just like I think it'll do well. I don't know. And it's like it still has to make $1 billion to be a success, but like I
know. See, Mandalorian and Grogu doesn't have to make $1 billion because it only costs like $190 million or something, or it's $120 million or something stupid. It costs like a third of what Andor costs. So if it makes $700 million, I think we're good for a sequel. Yeah. That's still a lot of money. Like people forget that $700 million is still like, I think Spider-Man Homecoming only made 600 and something. Mm. Right. But we all think, oh, it made $1 bazillion. Hold on. Spider-Man Homecoming box office. 880. So I lied. Complete lie. That was 200 million off. One of them made 600. Okay, maybe Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't know. But anyway, 880. It didn't make $1 billion. I think Mandalorian and Grogu budget's so small. I think it's a surefire hit. I'm typing the budget for Mandalorian and Grogu. 166.4 million. I am way off on my numbers. It's the lowest since 2005's Revenge of the Sith, which had a budget of 113 million, but for inflation, probably whatever. So there you go. The movie also received a $21.75 million tax credit from the state of California, according to the California Film Commission.
Neat.
That's a low budget, so it'll be what? $300 million after marketing, probably. So if it makes 700, I think they're good.
I didn't come here to do math.
We got to start a Discord channel.
Do we?
Aaron tells me to Discord all the time, and I'm like, I am so old. Is it like ICQ? Is it? Like
I believe
ICQ?
So. There's some similarities. Oh, ICQ. Not exactly.
Wait, what did you think I said?
I thought you said IRC, which was like an old chat forum sort of thing.
Dude, no, I don't even know what
roughly in the era of ICQ.
Really? I never even heard of that one. Yeah. I know ICQ from college. MSN Messenger then put that one out of business. And then the internet put that out of business. So there you go.
Yeah. What's next? Let's go.
Odds.
What's the next things? Never tell me.
Probability of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds. Brought to you, me.
Never.
Dave, everyone in the chat, everyone not in the chat, everyone who know Chad. by patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. If you like what we do, why don't you head on over to Rebel Scum Podcast, patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast, and support us any way you can, like doing lessons on how to say patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. Become one of our beloved who demand a Discord. And I'm like, okay. And those people are like the following: Heidi Feder, executive producer; Barry Brophy; Des Allen; Cedar Thrawn; Randy Kenobi; Mary Kristen Aton; Dale Erdman; Phil Staniforth; Rez Toe; Scott T; Josh Price;
Matt W., Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, Cosmic Girl 02, Gleek Bay 1, Denim Nerds, Disney Desi, Charlotte, Ron Pasek, and Jeff Wilson. And here at Disney Desi Brock, I'm not here to do math. What's next? The odds. The irony. I forget that the comments are there also. Thank you, everybody.
There's no math involved. We pick a number between 1 and 100.
All right, so Battlefront 2 has been making waves because there's a like an online thing to get Battlefront 3 made. I'm in support of this. I have not joined I have not joined in the fight yet, or probably will, but I am all for Battlefront 3. I love my Battlefront games on my PS4, so this one probably will never be on PS4, so do I care? No. Never tell me the odds. Battlefront 3 happening, Brock. Battlefront 3 happening.
I don't see why not, but it's been so long that I'm like, because it's like, I don't think that was a large gap between the original Battlefronts and the later Battlefronts. I was going to say PS5, PS4, but it's just like they were cross platforms. I am hesitant to say anything. I want to say 30% because let's remember that was the game where like I have to pay for things. So I can't see it. I know. I was just like, why are you guys complaining? We do this with everything. So, you know what? You're playing video games. You can support the independent video game, like which this game is not. EA, I think they're okay, but it's a cutthroat industry. So if you love video games, go for it. I'm gonna go 35% on it.
I think what you said actually about the time gap would work in its favor. It's been 10 years since the new first one, and it's been 6 or 7 years since the second one. So that's a long time in between where it can refresh and people won't have that bad taste in their mouth that they had. Even though I love the first one, it sold a lot of copies, but people weren't crazy into it. I think you have time now where you can be like, hey, guess what's back? This. And, you can use some of the criticisms that they had that they might, I don't know, feel were valid or whatever. So I'm going to go 41% because I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's dumb not to. Like the Battlefront games are, I don't know, it just feels like it's stupid. But I also think that the Battlefront style games have shifted into Fortnite now. So
they have.
So it's got to be free and then you pay for everything when you're in there, which anyway, that's it. Nothing.
I think it's more likely that the PlayStation 2 era Battlefronts get a remaster or something. So same game, just remastered to look nice.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Never tell me the odds. We will see a series in similar tone to Andor, but about the Jedi.
I hope not. I think that will be very, very depressing. I'm gonna go 20%.
Well, I don't. Okay, wait. Let's scratch. Not the depressing tone, just like an adult kind of version of it, not as whimsical, like not like Acolyte, like more like probably depressing, I guess.
Yeah, because it's just like they have like this ultimate power. It's like what happens when people go bad. You're like. Because a guy in a big black suit, you're like, oh, he's the villain.
But you also have to remember that you're not making this decision. Corporate heads are making this decision. And Andor was just a success and will probably be nominated for several Emmy Awards. So put that in your headspace when you're picking your odd.
We'll see. What are they for?
Did you give your odd?
15, I think.
That's pretty high.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 13.7. Make it happen. And our final odd, this one's a write-in, Brock. I don't even know if you saw this one yet. This is from executive producer Heidi. What are the odds the Knights of Ren will appear in the upcoming Mall series?
She didn't give any stipulation, so it could just be like a mention.
Yeah, well, okay. She did add this to. Let me pull up the suggestion here, because apparently she's basing this on what little she knows from the comics. I guess there's a connection in the comics with them.
Cool. I mean, I like it because it's just like, oh, let's go into whatever that was. I'm gonna say 40%. I would go higher. You gotta be realistic on if they do it or not. Cool.
Look, I'm gonna go 67.29%, and I'm gonna say that because the Knights of Ren sucked. They sucked. They were like,
movies?
ooh, yeah. No, that's the thing. Like, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
who are the Knights of Ren? They're gonna be cool, and then they don't show up for a movie, and then they suck in the next movie. And it's like, maybe you can make them not suck, and maybe the Mall series is the first shot at it. So that's why I'm gonna go a little bit higher on that, because I want to see them not suck. I mean, they're still gonna suck in the movies. I don't think you can do anything to salvage that. But show me here. Show me. I know they tried to do stuff in the comics, and it was probably a lot cooler there. But show me now in the Mall thing. Let's do it. So I'm going to go a little bit higher, 67.29, because of reasons. Do you have any news?
Oh, God, no.
I just wanted to ask you that. Let's go over to the top 5. Oh, wait. Toys are action figures to me. Baby Grogu sells whether he's in the show or not. I'm still a big believer in Grogu.
Yeah. That movie will do decent just because of that puppet. Let's be honest.
I'm going to see it 5 times. We should do what we did for Force Awakens and go see it enough times to get a free movie ticket out of it. Our wives would be so happy. And we'll use that movie ticket to see the next Jurassic Park. Okay, put you on the spot. What's going to be the biggest movie this summer? Superman, Jurassic Park 7, or Fantastic Four? Those are your 3 options. You could put them in an order if you want, or just tell me what you think the number 1 movie is going to be.
I want to say Jurassic Park. I feel like that will draw in a bigger crowd.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm psyched for that. Because is it all the same week or just back-to-back weeks?
No, it's like the 2nd, 15th, and 20th. Like they're boom, boom, boom. They're all July and they're boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, great. That's going to be a great month. Fantastic. Yeah, I want to say Jurassic Park. Only because it's sort of one that won't intimidate you to go see it. Like, I think it's going to be like, oh, dinosaurs, I'm in. You know, like,
yeah.
So yeah,
I think Fantastic Four has a shot at being big, but I don't know. We've had it before. It just feels like it. I've liked the trailers for it. I just feel like there's something in the hype for it that's missing almost. I don't know how to describe it. And look, it's gonna be huge. I'm not saying that. Superman, I think it's gonna be the best Superman we've ever gotten. But it's Superman. Like, people didn't like the last iteration of it. Maybe, Jurassic Park, the last one, which I own, by the way, because I own them all because I'm a sucker for these movies, is horrendous. And it made over $1 billion.
Yeah.
And nobody liked it. Like, no, I don't think anybody was like, that was great. People were like, this. Now, granted, the original trio of actors were in it. Like, they were back. So it had that going for it. But it was so like, I think all like those world movies did well. So I don't know. I think Jurassic Park might be the one to beat. Oh, look at that. Tahuara. I can never say her name. Sorry. Tahuara. Fantastic Four comes out on your birthday. We'll say happy birthday when that. I honestly think it's going to be. I think all 3 of them are going to be. Well, Jurassic Park, I don't know, but I think they're all going to be really good, fun movies. So I think whoever wins, Brock, we win.
Yeah, truly. I'm psyched. I went to the movies last night and I saw the trailer for Jurassic Park and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. So
And you know, one thing I liked, what was that last Gareth Edwards movie with the maker, the creator.
Creator, yeah, that was great.
Really good. Ending, not so much, but it cost. I thought it went off the rails towards the end, but it cost like $80 million to make, and it looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it was like really well done. So I'm really excited to see this one because they were also in a time crunch because they had to get it out this July. It's so stupid. Top 5 Battlefront levels, all versions of the game. Mine are all going to be from the 2 new ones for sure. Kashyyyk, number 5. Kashyyyk.
My 5 is Kashyyyk as well because I think it's in like almost all of them. At least in both eras of that game, I'm pretty sure it's in both.
It's not in Battlefront 1 2015 because that was when Disney was like, no prequels.
Yeah. But like, I think there was one in the PlayStation 2 era as well. I can't remember which one. But yeah, I mean, that's a no-brainer, so that's why it's number 5 for me.
I'm going to go Hoth. Number 4, Hoth.
I'm going to put Hoth on number 4 as well. It was on there, but I can't remember where I had it exactly. But like, that's like the Battle of Hoth has been redone so many times in video games where you're just like, which one is the 64? I guess is Shadows of the Empire. You open with you doing the AT-AT tie up. It's like that never gets old. It looks good always, regardless of quality of the graphics. So it's like, yeah, it's a no-brainer.
So good. Oh, Ron's got Geonosis at number 1. My number 3 is Jabba's Palace. Jabba's Palace is in Battlefront 2015. It was an add-on DLC. I bought the DLC because you know what? Aaron and I were actually just talking about it the other day. We played the survival mode of the Battlefront a bazillion times, and we were so disappointed it wasn't in Battlefront 2. And I know it's like people didn't really like it, but it was so like Aaron and I would just pick up the controllers and just play, and we had a blast with it. So I wish they would bring that back, but whatever. So Jabba's Palace.
My number 3 is gonna be Naboo because I think in that game playing that I was like, Naboo is pretty cool.
And Naboo is in Andor season episode 9. No,
yeah,
10.
one of those.
They bomb it. Luthen bombs it. I love the reason that he wanted to bomb Palpatine's home planet. My number 2 is Endor. Endor number 2. Love me some Endor. I love walking up. I love seeing Ewoks, but it had to be number 2 because number 1 is something else.
Then it was my Endor was in 1 or 2 spot for me, so I'll put it number 2 as well. I mean, Ewoks, amazing. I'm in immediately. It's the first day I play.
Love it. My number 1, you already said it, Naboo.
Oh, snap.
Love Naboo. You know I love Naboo. Had to be my number 1, Naboo.
My number 1 is the same as Ron. Geonosis. Especially in the PlayStation 2 version. I played the hell out of that level. Or like, it's what pops in my head whenever I think of whenever it says Geonosis. I'm like, oh, it just over and over again I would play it. So I think I preferred being in a ship running around or being in a ship flying around than running around. Because I'm like, right, Battlefront is typically a third-person shooter sort of style game, you know, like, but there is like you're in other crafts. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I full disclosure, I played that version, but not enough of it for me to pick anything from them because I bought Battlefront for my Xbox. There was an original Xbox. I didn't have a PS2 until a few years ago. And then I bought it and it was expensive. And my dad's like, "You're never gonna play it." And I was like, "You're right." And I returned it. And and honestly, back then I wouldn't have played it. It was like that time where I didn't play much of anything. And if I bought it today, I would probably play it on my PS2 today. If I got it like tomorrow, I would probably be like, "I'm calling in sick because I'm playing Battlefront."
I remember it's like you didn't have to pay extra to play online at that time. There was no
Yes.
extra subscription. I was just like, you just had to make sure you had that modem piece on the back and you could plug in. Like,
that's right.
wow.
What a wild time. Now it's like our friend Daryl showed me is what they're charging him for PlayStation 5 online. And I'm like, dude, I would just not play online anymore. My online is a lot cheaper than his for PlayStation 4, but I don't play any like big. I don't do a lot of online. I mostly do it for they give you like 3 free games a month or something. I'm like, oh, let's see. And then every once in a while I play like Battlefront or whatever online, but man, it's getting stupid expensive to play online. Stupid expensive. Not Nintendo.
Yeah.
Do you have the N64 Sega Genesis pack on Nintendo?
No, I didn't want to pay the extra thing.
Yeah, me neither. $25 is good for me. I played, dude, they added Tetris to the NES. Bro. And Battletoads on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know, I've been pushing for Battletoads to come back for a long time. And I played it for like an hour last night. I'm like, gotta play my Battletoads. When's that movie coming out, KK?
Yeah, exactly.
My Battletoads movie. Be awesome. All right. Those are our top 5 Battlefront things. Brock's were obviously way better than mine. I don't play enough of that game to know any other levels. Kashyyyk, though, love me, Kashyyyk. 370 episodes. How nuts is that?
Can't believe it.
No one.
It's almost 400.
We're 30 weeks. 30 weeks is a long time, though. Maybe we should do. Maybe we should do 10 a week, and then we'd be 3 weeks away. We'd still be 3 weeks away, right? So yeah, 370, kind of amazing. We've been doing this since 2016.
Sounds right.
16 or 15. I can find out right now. We're doing it for a long time, long enough for me to feel comfortable enough to go online and.
I feel like we've definitely hit 7 years.
Oh no, it's 7 years has passed. It's either 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was like newly married, but let's see. Hold on. Scrolling. Anybody in the chat know Dale?
Yikes. If that's like in the chamber for someone, I'd be like, oh boy.
We're a big deal. Yeah. You don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm almost. Here we go. Rebel Scum Podcast. August 3rd, 2016.
There you go.
Look at that. When I made that cheesy Force Awakens thing, and then you're like, James, I could do better.
Mm-mm.
And you made a nice logo that we've kept to this day. So 9 years this August. We should probably buy some Dom.
Dom?
Dom, you know, the expensive champagne, real champagne from
France.
Oh, Dom. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Yeah, Brock, anything else you want to say? No, Dom from Fast and Furious.
Dom DeLuise. Thank you for listening to us, and chat seemed pretty active tonight. Yeah. Heidi wasn't even here, and people were like, "Hey, everybody!" Heidi is the main, is the backbone of our chat. So
yeah,
really great to see people are out. And Heidi, you are missed, of course. That's it.
And you would say that because thanks everybody for watching. Give us a like, subscribe, all that. We really appreciate your support though, but not Brock because he does, but he was always scum.
Rebel scum.
Scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.